Next question. What do you think about shady YouTubers shading you? Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we will be doing a chit chat get ready with me video. I think this is the first time I've ever done one of these, and this video is sponsored by Sephora. Thanks so much for sponsoring today's video, Sephora. I really appreciate it. So I posed some questions on Instagram for you guys to ask and topics to talk about. So today I will be doing my makeup and answering those questions, as well as using all products that you guys can get at Sephora or Sephora.com. So make sure you check the links in the description box to click on any item that I used in today's video that you can get at Sephora. And also remember that I highly encourage you guys to sign up to become a beauty insider and sign up for the Sephora Beauty Insider program. They do have 3 different tiers: the VIB members, the Rouge, and just an insider. So it's different tiers. I think I said them in the wrong order. It's Rouge, VIB, and Insider. It's 3 different tiers. So as you purchase things, you collect points, and yeah, all you have to do, if you order online, you can also use the code FREESHIP to get free shipping. But I highly encourage you guys to run out to the store and get some of these products, especially the priority products that I use in today's video. So the priority products that I will be talking about today are the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer, as well as the McGrath Sublime Perfection Concealer, and the Charlotte Tilbury Complexion Perfection Airbrush Finish Powder. Like, this is so freaking beautiful. I am absolutely loving this makeup look. I went for a natural look with a neutral eye, popped the lashes on, and yes honey, it's giving. I did a nice pinky blush. The lips I'm using is actually just a lip plumper from Too Faced. It's the Lip Injection Extreme. Oh my god, it just makes your lips so pink and beautiful, gorgeous. So if you guys are interested in hearing this tea in this chit chat get ready with me and seeing this look, then definitely continue to watch. And thanks again Sephora for sponsoring today's video. Alright, let's jump into this video and go and get it going, okay? So you guys know there are 3 different tiers that you can sign up when it comes to being an insider on Sephora. So you have Insider, VIB member, or Rouge. So the more you spend, you collect, points, and you can easily become a Rouge member. So I highly recommend you guys signing up if you're not already signed up, and you can sign up through my link in the description box below. So I'm just about to tie my hair back so I don't get makeup all in my baby hairs. And this is just a nice little black silk headband. It's not a headband, it's specifically for this type of situation. Y'all, I am really liking this setup in my office. I think I'm gonna start doing my makeup downstairs and getting ready downstairs more, because I have a closet full of clothes, shower, all of this. So I mean, I could start getting ready down here. That way I could sit down, relax, play my music, and so I am going to be using some of the top priority products and black owned products as well. So I'm trying out the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Liquid Concealer today. I will also be trying out Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Micro Powder. And then I also have Pat McGrath's Skin Fetish. This is the Sublime Perfection Concealer as well. So yeah, I know 2 concealers, but I like to use concealers for my base on my eyeshadow as well. But we also got some Fenty, we got some Starrr, we got some makeup by Maree. We got a lot of good products from Sephora, you guys. So I am excited about it. And so, like, this is going to be my first chit chat get ready with me. I got some really good questions, so we're going to go ahead and jump into it. And I'm going to start off with my brows using the Fenty Beauty Micro Brow MVP to do my brows. I love this brow pencil. This is my second one. I actually repurchased this. So I have it in the shade, what shade do I have? Dark brown. Okay, so the first question, dating more than one person and not getting stuck on one. So I do recommend dating more than one person because, like, okay, if you go to the mall, right? When you go to the mall and you're looking for a specific pair of black shoes, even if you know you want this particular pair, you're still going to go in a couple of other different stores to see if you find something better, right? And y'all remember that old song, my mama told me you better shop around. I've always kind of lived by that, even though, like, I'm not gonna lie, when I date for a purpose. So I don't really like dating more than one person, especially like once my feelings get involved. Like, I am loyal to a fault. Someone even told me like that's a red flag to be so loyal to someone that you just started dating. But if you're dating intentionally to like find your mate and things like that, then I don't think it's anything wrong with dating one person and being involved with one person. However, you have to consider that the person that you're dating may not be doing that. So my advice to like dating more than one person and not getting stuck on one, time is money and you don't want to spend too much on one person if you know that this might not be the person that you'll end up with. So that's how I feel about it. Like, just be careful of the time you spend. Like, if you know you're starting to like the person a lot, then you probably want to like fall back a little bit, just until you get a clear understanding of what you all are doing. And I know that that's so scary to ask these days, because when you ask that question, like, what are we doing, you turn around and you might not get the answer that you want. I mean, it's happened to me. It's happened to me twice this year, actually. To be quite honest, it's happened to me twice this year. Because generally I would be like a go with the flow type of girl. But now that I'm dating with, you know, good intentions, and I'm dating for a purpose, now I do want to know what we're doing. I want to know what we're doing early. That way I'm not strung along and you're not wasting my time. So you just have to know who you're dating. So dating more than one person and not getting stuck on one, it's just gonna be hard, especially if sex is involved and you're spending a lot of time. So I would just say, just be careful with how much time you spend with the person. Next one. Someone said, hey Peyton, what made you leave Memphis for good? Current resident looking to relocate. Now I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Foundation. Now I'm gonna go in with Huda Beauty's concealer to clean up my brows. I left Memphis. I've always wanted to leave Memphis. Ever since I was a little girl, I had no intention on staying there and living there for the rest of my life. There was just something that's always been in the plan. But I got this in the shade Granola, by the way. But what really made me leave was I lost my job. I had a really, really good job. and I was being sexually harassed by my supervisor. And at the time, I honestly didn't even know that that's what he was doing. I thought like he had like this problem with, you know, just he had an issue, honey. We won't get into it, but I got to the point where I was very uncomfortable, and I said something about it, and I got let go after I said something about it. Now, I was in my 20s at the time, so like I didn't know much about like wrongful termination and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I really feel like I didn't have anyone to turn to that would have gave me any good advice. So I just like immediately started, you know, looking for another job. However, because my supervisor liked me so much, he like paid me. I was an executive assistant. I got promoted to a senior executive assistant, and I was making really nice money. So once I lost that job, I had this great resume, but I wasn't able to make the money that I was making, specifically because I actually was being overpaid. What I was making in Memphis, like that's kind of like you've been an executive assistant for a while, you know what I'm saying? I had a corner office. It was women in that building that didn't understand how I was able to like be in an office instead of a cubicle, instead of them. So like I dealt with a lot of issues in the workplace. And so after I lost that job, I got really depressed because I basically lived within my means from the amount of money that I made at that particular job. So when I had to like start being a temp, and girl, I was struggling, but I had like all of this experience because I worked there so long. So I just stepped out on faith, and because I knew that like if I moved to Dallas, I could get back into project management because it's so much construction, and I had that construction background. So I was like, okay, if you just move to Dallas, you see all these buildings being built and apartment complexes being built, like you should be able to flourish. All you need to do is move. So I literally had a rental car because I mean I lost everything from losing my job. My car got repoed. Like I literally had nothing when I moved to Dallas. I rented a car, I packed what I could into my car, I put everything else in storage, and I came to Dallas with like $573. I stayed with a friend for a few months, found a job, finagled my resume, because I only really had executive assistant experience. I wasn't a project manager, but I ended up getting a job as a project coordinator because it's basically the same thing. Used that experience to finagle my resume again, and yeah, it's been up ever since. So if you're thinking about moving, sis, move. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't let nobody else talk you out of it. Move. You might have to lie a little bit, but as long as you ain't lying on nobody and just lying on their resume, I support. So that concealer is actually the color of my skin, which is fine because you don't always have to use a bright concealer for highlight. You can actually use your skin tone color, and I feel like it just gives this really beautiful glow. I'm going in with the One Size Beauty. This is Patrick Starr's Visionary eyeshadow palette. And you can get this at Sephora. Okay. So next question, the Joshua James asks, would you ever get more body work done? I'm going to say no right now. I'm actually really cool with the shape of my body. I just need to tone up, you know. Like, I get into those stages where I don't want to work out. Like, I just have like bouts of laziness, which is actually a character trait of being a Pisces. Like, sometimes we can get like really lazy and like fall victim of just being in our freaking head and imagining things all the time and daydreaming a lot. So I really just like really got to get out of that and get my butt back in the gym and tone back up. Because when I was 145, I really liked how my body looked, and it was so much tone, like my legs was toned. So no, I don't think I'll ever get any more body work done. I'll be 40 next year, so I have to like consider like my heart. You know, every time you get like, anytime you get surgery, general anesthesia, it does something to your heart. So like, you just have to be mindful of those types of things, which is one of the reasons why when I went and got this procedure done for the tightening, I was kind of like open to being wide awake, because it was just local anesthesia and not general anesthesia. But body, no. Face, I don't know yet. Have you messed around with a celebrity? If so, what was it like, good or bad? So me and Cynthia actually were talking about this because I asked her, was basketball players including it? Like, I was like, do you think does basketball players count? And she was like, yes, it does. So I have. And what I will say is, I feel like, one, I was in my 20s, I was young, and I had already been through a divorce. So I was still extremely traumatized from the abuse and the physical abuse and the emotional abuse. So I really wasn't ready mentally to be in a relationship when I was dating this person. And I will say, when it comes to dating a celebrity or a person, a ball player, athlete, whatever, you have to be very mentally stable and healthy. Not saying that I'm unstable, not saying I'm an unstable creature, but it takes stability up here, because there's going to be times when y'all don't talk. There's going to be times when he's extremely busy. There's going to be times when he takes long to respond to your text. You have to be extremely understanding when you date a celebrity, whether it's an athlete, an actor, or whatever. Like, you have to be extremely understanding and open-minded. And if you're not there, girl, don't do it. Don't do it, girl. I'm not going to do it. Don't do it, girl. I'm telling you, because it's hard. It really is hard. Especially if you have trauma that you haven't addressed. I don't even know what I am doing. I'm just picking colors, honey. So don't mind me, y'all. It's all gonna come together and hopefully it'll turn out cute. Okay, the next topic. The doctor that did your chin and neck, pain level and worthiness. Pain level high, worthiness low. I wouldn't go. I'd save your money and go somewhere else, honestly. It's not that I regret it, but I could have went to Turkey. It would have cost a little bit more, but I could have went to Turkey, been put to sleep, had a wonderful time, because Turkey is a vibe, and came out with the results that I wanted. Because every time I've ever went to Turkey, I got what I wanted. I got my teeth done in Turkey, I got what I wanted. I got my nose done in Turkey, I got what I wanted. I got my lips done in Turkey twice, I got what I wanted. They follow directions and they give you what you want in their bedside manner, and everything is just perfect. Like, they're so freaking friendly. I just feel like I'm still waiting to fall in love with the tightening, because like, I thought that it tightened, but I don't know. It's kind of like it looked that way the day of, but I'm not seeing the results yet. So I really don't think that it's worth it. I honestly feel like I lost my money. I wasted my money. Would you ever go back to a 9 to 5? So I'm like, I'm not gonna say I'm up in the age, but I'm not your traditional YouTuber. You know, a lot of YouTubers start out, you know, in their late teens, early 20s. So I have to consider that the older I get, the demographics of my viewers will change and kind of fall off. Because you know, there probably just aren't really a lot of 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds that will watch a lady that's like older. You know what I'm saying? Not saying anything about me and my influence, but I'm just being realistic. So I would hope not. I don't have to go back to a 9 to 5, but I am putting things in place and investing in myself, so I will be able to continue to work for myself when YouTube kind of, you know, stops or falls off, if that makes sense. I'm going in now with the Makeup Forever Aqua Resist graphic pen. I'm going to hot yoga tomorrow, you guys. I'm excited. Okay, so the next question is how to balance your finances. I would say monitor your money. Ain't nothing wrong with looking at your bank account every day. One, you need to keep an eye on your checking account, or wherever holds most of your money. You need to keep an eye on it anyway, because fraud is very real and everybody out here scamming. You have no idea how easy it is to like steal somebody's information now. Like there was a lady that just got her information stole just by saying no when she got like a fraud alert from Chase that someone tried to Zelle themselves $2,000. And so that's actually happened to me before too, but I caught it in time. And I'll just be honest and transparent with y'all, I ain't have very much money in my account for them to try to steal anyway. So they was like doing $25 increments anyway. But I caught it in time and I reported it. So y'all got to be careful, because they got this new thing where they'll call you and ask you to verify your PIN and all that, and don't do that. Don't, because Chase doesn't call you and ask you for stuff like that. Your bank won't call you and ask you for information like that. So for me, I like to put my eyelash glue on my lash line first, and then apply my lashes. Okay, next question. Why do women find being a side chick so attractive? I don't even know if women feel like being a side chick is attractive. I think what it is that good men are so scarce. When you see a man that presents himself to be a good man, right? Whether he tell you the truth or lie about it, most of them lie. When you find out he's in a relationship, you just not ready to let that go. So you in turn, now I ain't speaking for myself because I ain't got time for it, but I think for a lot of women, they feel that they can compete with the girlfriend, because I think when it comes to women, my ex disagreed with me, but I feel like when it comes to women, most women, I'm gonna say the majority, I'm gonna say 90% of women, the entire population of women, want to be in a relationship. There are a very select few that just don't want to be in a relationship. But Samantha Jones, that's not the majority. That's the minority. There are a lot of women that aren't like that. Most women are Charlotte. Most women want to be in a relationship, want to be married, want to have a family, want to be, you know, treated like a princess. They want their partner to be loyal, all of that. So when you see a woman that has that, from what you see, you want it. You know what I'm saying? Because by nature, we want what we can't have. And I think for a lot of women, it's not attractive to be a side chick, but they go ahead and go with it because they feel they can compete for the man. Because good men are scarce, girl. Good straight men, child. Listen, Hard to come by, okay? Hard to come by. I tell all my married friends, if he's not abusing you, using you, or confusing you, stay married, sis, because ain't shit out here. You talking about you don't want to compete? Alright, well, you're going to be competing with me because I'm out here. And it's nothing out here, sis. Next question, strengthening your relationship with God. For me, I had to become a better prayer. Period. I had to become a better prayer. I would sit back and observe people that prayed against people that didn't. And I looked at the people that didn't life, and I looked at the people that did life. And the people that did life, they were very blessed. You know what I'm saying? They lived a life of abundance. And the people that didn't lived a life of struggle, toxicity, negativity. You know what I'm saying? I did not want that for me. I want the best for me. I'm sorry if I hit the microphone. I want the best for me. I think I deserve the best. You know what I'm saying? So when my grandmother died, I've said this in vlogs several times. When my grandmother died, she was big on praying. And I always thought, like, every time she told me to pray about something that I was going through in my life, I felt like it was so cliche, but praying will never be cliche. I'm not trying to get preachy, but praying will never get cliche. And now I seem to have taken on that role when people come to me with problems and, you know, they need someone to talk to. I always say you got to pray about it, because prayer really does work. You need to talk to God. There is no specific way to talk to God, and I'm not even going to get into how I talk to God, because that gets real controversial and people be so bothered by it. But however you talk to God, just talk to God, okay? Okay, next I'm going in with the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Subline Perfection Concealer in the shade M17. I hope this one is a light one, because, ooh, this not that light. You, girl, this is my color, child. This is really my skin tone, so I'm actually going to use this to cover up imperfections. Because I really wanted to use this. So, whatever. I'm going to have to go upstairs and get my Too Faced or my Fenty. Those are a little lighter. Next, I'm going to go in with the Dior Forever Transfer Proof 24-Hour Foundation. And I got it in the shade 4N. So the next topic is toxic family members. So we all have them. We can't cut them off, or so you think. For me and my family, you know what? Anybody can get this work when it comes to getting cut off. Anybody. I don't discriminate when I'm cutting people off. You have to protect your peace. And one thing about family, especially if they don't live with you, you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to deal with them. People think you can't cut family members off. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can cut them right on off, and your life will be great. You know, if you see them at a funeral or a family reunion, that's fine. Speak, say hi and bye, and keep it on moving. You don't have to talk to them every day. Don't make your life difficult. Overthinking things, keeping people in your life that cause you problems and stress, that's making your life difficult, and you don't deserve that. Okay, next question is dating men that are separated but not married. So I feel, for me, I wouldn't. That's just me. I wouldn't, just because I try to avoid drama as much as I possibly can, y'all. So any baggage for me is just too much for me to carry. You know, I'll accept a carry-on, but baby, this a private jet. You can't bring a lot of baggage on this plane, okay? You cannot. I won't stand for it. I'm not bringing none. I am loving this coverage on this foundation. Beautiful. Okay, next topic. It says not apologizing for living looks. Are people apologizing for that? Is it something wrong with living looks, like living a luxurious lifestyle? I feel like growing up, that's something that we all have strived to attain at one time or another. You know, I was just looking at apartments with Cynthia today, and Cynthia knows exactly what she wants in her place. She wants luxury. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting the best. We work so hard, you know, and you shouldn't have to wait on a man to give you luxury, you know, or to provide a luxurious lifestyle. We see a lot of women that are kept, and they are given these designer items and taking on these great vacations, these luxurious lifestyles and luxury vacations and all of this. But if you have the capability of doing that for yourself, do it for yourself. Like, it's nothing wrong with it. And I don't understand how people like find something wrong with it, because we all have goals and strive to live better in some way, shape, or form. So I don't think anyone should apologize for wanting better and being able to attain that. If you work hard, you should be able to give yourself and gift yourself nice things instead of having to wait on someone else to gift it. Having someone to do it, oh my God, that is so amazing. That's great. Happy for you, sister girl. But if you don't, do it for yourself. It feels just as good, I promise you. Because one thing about it, and two things for sure, you'll never stop loving yourself. The love that you have for self is not temporary. Next question, advice for women entering their 30s. Entering your 30s, okay, one, you're not an auntie if you're in your 30s. I know people feel like sometimes that is a term of endearment, but it's not. I think it's a backhanded compliment, and it's very shady, because you can't call a woman in her 60s auntie and then turn around and call a woman in her 30s auntie. No, we're not going to do that. So don't be afraid of being 30. Great things can happen for you in your 30s. You gain wisdom and experience, and people listen to you. People will receive the things you say, in my opinion, more in your 30s than in your 20s. And also, be stingy with your pocketbook and your hot pocket. Okay? You should start doing this in your 20s. Be stingy with your pocketbook and your hot pocket, because when you get older, these men's, they like to use women. This concealer is really good. It's really, really good. Someone said implants, do it or nah. Breast, yes. Booty, no. And if you do breast, I'm gonna say get smooth, round, not saline, but get smooth. Don't get gummy bear. Gummy bear is like the go-to implant right now, but at the same time, it's not talked about. Gummy bear is one of the culprits for, what is it, BIACLE, I think. It's a rare form of breast cancer. So, you know, it's only been a few different brands that have been recalled because they were, a lot of women that had these were getting this rare form of cancer. And it's not even a breast cancer. It's just a rare form of lymphoma cancer. And it's caused by breast implants. So honestly, you guys, I would say don't even get breast implants. Like, if you look at society right now, men love men right now. So I kind of want to say, I mean, be as natural as possible. If you look like a boy, you winning. Because next question, toxic relationships and how to know when it's time to give up. You know, my friends, when they're in situations and it's toxic, I always tell them, oh, this is what I ask each and every friend whenever they come to me with problems that they're having in their relationship and they ask me for advice. I ask them, are you happy? And now I'm going in with the Lady Gaga's HAUS Labs bronzer, and this is in the shade Deep Level 9, and I'm gonna like contour my nose with it. And so I'm contouring my nose before I add my setting powder under my eyes, and you will see why in a minute, because you're gonna put a little bit of the setting powder on your nose. So you want to go ahead and contour your nose like you want, and then go in with your setting powder over it and blend it. Yeah, I always ask my friends when they come to me, you know, talking about their relationship problems, I say, are you happy? And their answer is usually no. And then I say, well, do you want to be happy? Of course they want to be happy. Okay, well, when you ready to, and I say, okay, well, when you ready to be happy, you know what you got to do. I don't talk about their man with them. I don't give them advice about leaving, because one, you in a relationship and I'm single. I cannot tell you to leave. I can't tell you to get back out here, honey, because it ain't nothing out here. I can't tell you to break up with your boyfriend, because then that makes me look like I want you to be miserable and single out here like I am, because I'm not miserable and single, baby. I'm having the time of my life. But at the same time, you got in a relationship with this person. It's something that you like about them. So my advice is, when you're ready to be happy, you know what you got to do. But there's no instructions, there's no guide to leaving a toxic relationship. You got to be fed up with how you feel. It's not even how he makes you feel. You got to be fed up with how you feel. Because to stay in a relationship, you are depleting yourself of self-love to pour into this person's cup, thinking that he will reciprocate that energy, and he won't. So when you're tired and you're depleted, when you have no more love to give, no more energy to give, that's when you will walk away, because now you're empty. Now you got to refuel. He's not going to do it. He's not going to refuel it. He's just going to keep on soaking up all the energy and the love that you have to give, that you should be giving to yourself. So when you're ready to be happy, you know what you got to do. So this was just the Translucent Honey Laura Mercier setting powder. Love it for me. Softening yourself after being tough for so long. She said, got this from your story. So to soften yourself, you have to give yourself grace, right? When you put your guard up, you in turn take on a role of more masculinity, right? Because that's a man thing. You know, men have their guard up. Men are, you know, very slow to trust and slow to love. So you take on a masculine role when you put your guard up. So softening yourself is giving yourself grace, forgiving yourself for the mistakes that you've made, not living in denial about it, accepting that you made a mistake, and now it's time to pour into yourself and love yourself more. So take yourself out on dates, go on solo vacations, stop living waiting on people to do things with you. A soft life is just standing in your feminine energy, but being a boss, okay? It's okay to have like little sprinkles of masculinity in there too. You know what I'm saying? Because being a boss and being single and being on your own, you have to. You know what I'm saying? You have to. You have to take out your own trash. You have to get your car washed. If you can't mow your own lawn, then you know how to call somebody to come over to do it, but you probably have to pay for it. You're paying your own bills. That's a boss. That's a boss. It's okay to be a boss and be soft. Now I'm going in with the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder by Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm just going to set the bottom of my face. And I got this in the shade Tan. Ooh, this is pretty. The next question is, would you do a reverse BBL? No. There's no reason to. It's just fat. I just move fat around. I think when people reverse situations and do all of that is because they went overboard. For me, I don't feel I went overboard. I feel mine looks good. Some people say it's big. I don't really see it. I don't see it. But, you know, there are people that say it's big. It's not big to me. I think it's perfect. I'm happy with it, so no. How to get rid of an ex with good sex. Okay, do you want, she says, send help, sis. Okay, do you want a toxic answer? Because I got a toxic answer for you, girlfriend. Sometimes to get over someone, you have to get under someone else. And that is like truly how I feel. I'm not even like gonna cap with this politically correct answer, this ladylike answer. Sometimes to get over somebody, you gotta get under somebody else. Not to say you gotta sleep with them either, but you know, spend time with somebody else. Open yourself up to liking someone else. Because if they're toxic and the only thing they got going good is the sex, you got to weigh your options. You got to write down the pros and the cons of the person. If the pros outweigh the bad, then make it work. But if the cons outweigh the pros, then it's time to walk away and find happiness. First, you got to find happiness in you, because there's something that's deep within that is attracting you to trauma. You know, it's not just the person attracted to you, because if you find, hell, anybody will be attracted to you if you're nice looking. So you can't just say, I attract broken men, I attract broke men, I attract men that need healing. If you a good looking woman, you got a nice body, you got something going for yourself, these men really don't care. They just like what they see, and then you turn around, you like what you see, but you don't realize that this person is broken. So now you sticking around what? Because the sex is good? That's not enough. If this person isn't making you happy, it's time to skate and find something else. If you want to keep them around just for the sex, then y'all need to make a clear understanding that this is all this is going to be. And if you are mentally stable enough and strong enough to be in a situation like that without catching feelings, by all means, sis, go right ahead. But it's very hard, I will tell you, because sex be feeling like love. I done had it. I done seen it. It be feeling like love. It make me say I love you. Next question. What do you think about shady YouTubers shading you? Cynthia right there. Come say hey to the girls.
Hi, Peypals.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who's shading me. I don't. Because I've been enthralled with Grey's Anatomy. So for me to know somebody shading me, it would have to come to me, which it does. The subscribers will tell me that things are said. But like, how do I feel about shady YouTubers? I feel like your job doesn't change who you are. Turning the camera on won't change who you are. You know what I'm saying? There are doctors who kill people. There are judges who've stolen. You know what I'm saying? Judges who steal, doctors who kill. Your job title don't change who you are. Yeah, saying shady YouTubers, I would just say a shady person. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think about it. I'm sensitive. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm not sensitive. When things come back to me, I do feel a way, but it's nothing that I can do about it. You know what I'm saying? If this is how this person feels about me, like my grandma always told me, they got the problem with you. You don't have a problem with them. So, you know, it just is what it is. You can't be friends with everybody. So if there are people out there that are in the same industry as me and they don't care for me, they don't like me, it's nothing that I can do about it. It's nothing that I can do about it. If you can't resonate with my content, if you can't relate to me, it's nothing that I can do about it. Being an influencer and the BS you experience behind the scenes. Oh, I probably shouldn't shake that on my rug. So it's not a lot of BS, but it is a little bit, you know, because on YouTube you got your Oprahs and you got your Wendy's, you know, and YouTube is a platform that allows people to state their opinions about anything. Now, me, myself, I like to state my opinion about products. But there are people that like to state their opinion about people on here. And sometimes those people are other YouTubers. In my opinion, I feel like it's distasteful. I feel like you're doing yourself a disservice to your own blessings doing that. And you blocking your blessings. So I don't do it, but I can't control who else does it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I have seen YouTubers say things about me. It is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. I have had my feeling away about it, and then I had to move on about my life. It's just, hey. So I'm just gonna use my booty blender and put, oh wee, wow, this is pigmented. Shit. Oh Lord. Okay, let's blend it out real good. Oh goodness. Alright, next I'm going in with this Merit Clean Lash Lengthening Tubing Mascara. Next question is, would you adopt a child? Oh, this is pretty packaging. Look at that. I'm gonna say no, because that process is really stressful and hard, and also from what I have seen, you know, when you adopt a child, you don't really know about the underlying health conditions that any of their, you know, people in their family had. And if you don't know how to deal with something like that, I think that it can be really hard on a family. So yeah, adopting has never been something that I've ever wanted to do. Okay, next I'm going in with this cream highlighter from Rose Inc. This is in the shade Glancing. It's supposed to be comparable to Champagne Pop, but this is a cream highlighter. Let's see what it's looking like. Okay, next question is how to be okay with being single. Oh, that's mold. My mold's starting to grow big. This is beautiful. This is really pretty. I think a lot of women who struggle with being single have been in relationships all their life. Like they've never been by themselves. And I think there's a movie. I think it's like a white movie, but there's a movie about like how to be single or something like that. And it was a girl, like her character, like she's always been in a relationship. And so she just wanted to be single and know like what it's like to be by herself. And it's not really about being okay with being single. It's just accepting that that's what it is right now, and eventually you'll meet someone that matches you that'll change that. But until you meet that person, don't settle. So I would say being okay with being single comes with not settling, like not really just accepting anything that's put on your plate. And learning to love yourself, like I said before, like take yourself out on dates. It's fun. Plus, you know how much more approachable you are when you by yourself than when you're with your friends? You are so much more approachable. Men will flock, okay? It's a absolute given. So take that into consideration. Being single is not a bad thing. It's great to be loved and in a relationship with someone who cares about you, but if you don't love yourself, you will never really accept the person that you meet loving you the right way you're supposed to be loved anyway. We're going in with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I love how that smells. Okay, now we're going to get into some hair. How is it to leave a marriage when you have a kid and you deeply thought he was the one? It's not easy. It's not easy. It takes, y'all seen What's Love Got to Do with it. Y'all see P-Valley, you know. It takes courage. It takes timing, you know what I'm saying? I had to convince myself that I could do it on my own, because I wasn't completely convinced when I was ready to leave. I was scared as shit to be a single mom. Oh, I was so scared. That's not what I wanted for my life. I feel like I had did everything right. I graduated high school. I went to the Navy. I served a term in the Navy, and then I got out. Enjoyed my 20s for a short amount of time, and then I got pregnant. So, did I say I got married before I got pregnant? Because I definitely got married before I got pregnant. So I feel like I did everything right. And in me feeling that, I felt like I was going to have a successful marriage. However, what I didn't realize is that I was still too young. Regardless of doing everything right, I was still too young. I did not know enough about love. I didn't know enough about trauma. I didn't know enough about him and his trauma in his life and in his family. I just didn't know enough. So, looking back on it now, I felt like the marriage wasn't going to work from the jump because we eloped and I just didn't know him. I didn't know him. So, after 4 years, when I realized that it's just not gonna stop. I made the decision to walk away, and I struggled. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. I done had cars repoed twice. I done slid down the wall in slow motion crying many nights, not knowing how I was gonna pay my bills. All of my family worked, so finding a babysitter was always difficult because, you know, everybody in my family, we all worked. Everybody worked. Everybody had jobs. Grandmas, uncles, aunties, cousins. I didn't have any help. So knowing that kept me in the marriage longer because I was scared shitless that I wasn't going to be able to do it by myself. I'm using the Living Proof Flex hairspray. So it's not about a how. It's not more so about how is it leaving a marriage than it is about when you know it's time. Like, when is it? And you know, I hate to use him as a reference, but like this one R&B singer once said, when a woman's fed up, it ain't much you can do about it. And I was fed up. I was just tired of it. I wanted to be happy. And once I convinced myself that I could do it on my own and I could be alone, I did it. And to be quite honest, I've been single ever since. I done been in and out of few relationships. But if you're not married, technically you're still single. So if you could, with any R&B artist, male or female, who would you choose to sing with? I would choose to sing with Jhené Aiko. I love her voice, y'all. I love her so much. Man, let me tell you, when Jhené came out, I felt like she was literally my soulmate. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I feel like Jhené was my freaking soulmate, y'all. Her songs would make me cry. I'm like, there is no way in the world somebody else on this planet can make a song that sound like it was written for me. And she a Pisces. Her birthday 2 days after mine. It made me love her even more. And I'm like, oh my God, like, we literally have lived similar lives because I just relate to her music and her words so much, and her voice is just so freaking angelic and beautiful. So if I could sing with anybody, bro, I would sing with Jhené. I love that bitch. I love her. For real. Okay, the next question says, how to get over the fear of traveling out of the US alone. So for me, I always knew that I wanted a cultured lifestyle. Like, I wanted to be very cultured. You know what I'm saying? Well-rounded. I've always saw that for myself. And I never want to be in a position where with a man and I'm like, oh, I've never done that before, or I've never been here before. You know, so seeing the world was always something that I wanted to do, which is the reason why I went into the military, because I really wanted to get out of Memphis. I really wanted to see the world. I've always had big dreams of like traveling and doing things like this. So me, I was just taking control of my life and making my dreams come true. Because if you don't get out and move around, the things that you imagine, the things that you dream, you'll never see them. You gotta make a move. Okay, the next one says dating in Dallas. Dating in Dallas is a little tough. It's a little tough. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like it was easier to date in Dallas on Hinge than it is just to like go out and meet people. right? Because on Hinge, that's a dating app that I was on during quarantine, COVID. On Hinge, you at least get to see, like, because I don't follow men on Instagram, so that makes it a little difficult too. I need to start following more men because I don't follow men on Instagram. But I don't follow men because I don't like how men be posting. Like, I don't like men taking too many damn selfies and stuff like that. So, like, that always bothers me. But dating in Dallas is a little hard because I have a type and I'm used to what I'm used to. And that's men from Memphis. I'm used to, you know, our dialect and the way we speak and accent and stuff like that. And while I'm open to meeting, you know, new guys and dating and things like that, it's always hard because I kind of compare. And I wish I didn't, because I always said, like, once I leave Memphis, that's it. I'm never dating another Memphis man. But child, since I done been here, I have dated probably 3 guys from Memphis that live here. Child, dating is hard. It's hard in Dallas because, one, Dallas is a melting pot of people from all over. So even to just meet meet a guy from Dallas, which cause they different here, baby. They be wearing that shag, child. They be wearing that fro. Like, all of this to be a ball cut fade, it be real low, and then like right here, we used to call it a Gucci, but it be a shag. They still be wearing it here. I don't get it, baby. They love them some shags here, hun. That's very new to me. That is a Dallas haircut. They wear that here. And you know, I like a man to dress a certain way. You know, I like a man to be dapper and, you know, very polished. And baby, they be looking like they going to a barbecue. They be looking like they going to a family reunion. They don't put that shit on here. They don't. It's if he does, either he's, one, really popular and into fashion. So I question that because, like Elle said on Legally Blonde, gay men know designers. So, you know, girl, I be stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to dating in Dallas. I be a little scared. I be scared because I don't want to date no little murder child. Whew. That's scary. Y'all seen episode 6? Alright, I got my little curly suit curls. Now I'm about to put on the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme. This is a lip plumper. Because I'm kind of thinking I want to do just a no lip. Like just like a nice natural pink lip with this look. But I also got this makeup by Maree. In the shade Mocha Latte. This is a lip stain, but I think I'm just gonna put this lip plumper on. I don't know. We're gonna see. See how it works. My lips are a little chappy. Alright guys, this is the finished look. If you guys are interested in any of the products that I use, all links will be in the description box, and thanks so much for watching.
But you cannot take love.
Yeah, I needed to hear that shit. I hate when you're submissive, passive aggressive when we're texting. I feel the distance. I look around and peers that's around me. These niggas tripping. I like when money makes a difference, but don't make you different. Started realizing a couple places I could take it. I want to get back to when I was that kid in the basement. I want to take it deeper than money, pussy, vacation, and influence a generation that's lacking the patience.